How we doing, boys? Back with another video, and we switch up the scenery. We're in the office right now. Usually I'm, flexing the Miami view and all that stuff, but this video wasn't planned. I wanted to hop on here and basically let you guys know some things that have recently been on my mind because I've been getting a ton of questions recently, right? People have been DMing me, basically asking different forms of how to be successful. So in this video, I'm going to really lay out every single thing I know or that I've adopted into my mindset to get to a point where I'm at today. For you guys who don't know who I am, my name's Nathan. I'm 20 years old. I made $1.7 million and basically achieved my dream life through online business, specifically sports content. But the tenets I'm going to give you in this video are going to be applicable to not only business, not only, self-improvement, but really anything you are trying to get better in your life. So to break down my mindset, before I, go into every little thing about what I've adopted and what's really made me successful, it's important to note that I am a relatively extreme person. I said this in my last video to really just give, a prerequisite of what people are about to get into. I would not have achieved extreme results if I was not an extreme person. I would not have made almost $2 million at 20 years old if I did what everybody else did. If I did what everyone else did, I'd be in college right now, $200K in debt. So if you watch this video, right, and you're easily offended, or you're one of those people who, are really, really reliant on the system, like you super duper want to go to college, you super want to get a job 9 to 5, have your wife divorce you and live that lifestyle, then that's fine. Like you can do that, right? I'm not judging you. That sounds like a good life. But for me, I want everything, right? And you can call that greed, you can call that whatever, but I've always been a person who I knew in the back of my mind that I would be a high achiever. I didn't know how when I was younger. I didn't know where this money was going to come from, but I did know that it was going to happen. If you asked me a few years ago, was I going to be rich? I would say yes every time. Then you'd ask how, and I would be blanked out. You got me. But I knew I was going to make money, right? So I am an extreme person. You have to do extreme things if you want extreme results. And if you don't want extreme results at a young age, that's cool. You can go down the normal path, right? But this is for people who have a lot of ambition. My channel, this video, is for people who want to change their life, who want to get rich, who want to retire their mother, who want to drive Lamborghinis and Ferraris, who want to have massive cribs, who want to live a life of freedom. That's what my channel is for. And that's what I'm striving for. I'm not even there yet. Am I there yet compared to people my age and I live a life of freedom, the life of my dreams? 100%. But I'm trying to 10x everything I have. And that itself will lead into point number 1. You need to think bigger. Now, too many people come to me, right? Because I have my program, Sports Creator Academy. I've taught a lot of people how to get rich through sports content. So I've seen over 200 people probably come through my close-knit program at this point over the last year and a half. And I understand the difference between successful people and losing people. Now, I feel like that's a good reason why I'm able to talk about this topic, because obviously I can give you everything I know from my personal experience, which, yeah, I know what's worked for me. I know what hasn't worked for me. But on top of my personal experience, I have a sample size of about 200 people where I can look at their personality traits and mindset to understand, okay, this is what wins, this is what doesn't win. And one of the things that does not win is thinking too small. To get back to what I was saying, too many people come to me and I ask, how much money do you want to make? I like to ask this question to see where their head's at. And they say, oh, 2-3K a month, that would be crazy. 2-3K a month would be crazy. And at the same time of, it being reasonable to set small goals, being able to, achieve those and then work to the next thing, it's also very detrimental to sell yourself short. And I noticed that at a young age, right? Because when I was younger, I was a suspect of this too. Basically, I thought 10K a month could buy everything I wanted. I was a huge sneakerhead when I was younger. I got like 45 pairs now, so I guess I fulfilled that dream. But basically, any way I could make money as a kid, I was spending it on sneakers. I literally knew the kids' Foot Locker and then Foot Locker employees at the mall, at the releases by name. Like, we were basically friends. Like, I was in sneaker stores all the time, spending all my money on sneakers, right? So I knew that, okay, for how much I'm spending on sneakers when I was like 15, if I could just make like 10K a month, I could buy every shoe that's released. And that's why I wanted to make money in the first place. Now, obviously, my goals, the reason I want to have money has changed over time, but that's when it started, right? And the goal in my head was 10K a month. So when I finally hit that 10K a month a few years later, I wasn't as into sneakers, but I hit that 10K a month and I thought I'd have everything I want, right? But the second I hit that 10K a month, it was weird because I exactly made $10,000 a month. And I feel like the reason for that was because I wanted 10K a month. And once I got there, I had 10K months back-to-back months, right? I started at zero, obviously. First 3 months of my business, I didn't really make any money. I made like 2 to 4K a month. Then my stuff really popped off. And in like months 5 and 6, I made 10K a month, 10K a month. 3 months later, I got to 150K profit in a month. And the mindset shift from going from that 10K a month to that 150K in a month was simply thinking bigger, because I changed environments. I think it's an easier time to do that now without even changing environments, by seeing things online. That was a big thing for me too. I physically moved to Miami, but my mindset opened up before that. But I thought bigger, right? Because I changed my environment and I realized that if I did this in X amount of time, if I got to 10K a month in 6 months time, imagine what I can do in 2 years. Imagine what I can do in 5 and 10. And I knew that there was another level. So if you sell yourself short, you are going to fall to that number. You are going to fall to your standards. You do not rise to your goals. You fall to your standards. So I'm a big believer of the cliche, the cliche saying of being like, you shoot for the moon, you're going to at least hit a star, right? So if you do that, that is 100% true. If you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, you know what, I'm going to make $1 million this year. Act like there's a gun to your head. If I don't make $1 million, I'm going to die, right? And you're not going to make $1 million that year in the first year. You don't have a business. It is extremely low percentage that you do that. Most people online would be like, oh, if you buy my course, you can make it. You're not going to make $1 million in your first year. People don't do that. I made 500K in my first year, but that's half of $1 million, right? And I had insane results and I went balls to the wall in my work. So you're not going to make $1 million. But if you aim for that goal, if you act on that frequency of making $1 million, you might make 300K. You might make 400K. And then after that year, you're able to adjust. Okay, I did this, and this right. I did this, and this wrong. How can I tweak these so I can get to that million, right? And simply by not selling yourself short, you were so fixated on that massive, massive goal that you at least got a third of it done. And as soon as I opened up my mindset to, being able to make way more money, I realized that I could make way more money, and I did make way more money. So I see way too many people in the world today selling themselves short, especially the dream car thing. Oh my God. I ask everybody, yo, what's your dream car? A C8? A C8 Corvette is your dream car? I would buy a C8 and I wouldn't even drive it. That's like a driver's car. Having a C8 is, I don't even know. Like that, I would be embarrassed to be around, at 3 years in business with a Corvette, like a $70,000, I think they're like $50K now, a $50,000 Corvette, American exotic car is your dream car? It's not even a supercar. Like, what are we talking about? My dream car is a $5.5 million LaFerrari, and I don't just want that. I want 20 cars, 20 supercars, a fleet, because I know what's possible. You can call me delusional, you can call me insane, but that's part of the reason why I got here. And people that sell themselves short often either hit that goal or they fall below that, because instead of shooting to the moon, instead of shooting to $1 million and making 400K, they shoot to 50K and make 20, and they're still nobodies. So it's like, you need to open up your mind. This is why I like to ask this question to everybody, because I can see how open their mindset is, how delusional they really are. If you ask somebody their dream car, ask this to one of your friends, it's a good test. Ask them, what's your dream car? They're going to say, BMW M4, a C8 Corvette. And then you're going to be like, okay, you're a loser. You're not going to win. But if you ask somebody their dream car and they say Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport Tiffany Blue with black and red interior with, all carbon fiber options, you're going to be like, okay, this guy's going to make it. This guy knows what he wants, and he's aiming higher than minuscule goals that you can accomplish in 3 months. You can make 50K in 3 months easily, starting from nothing, if you start a business and you actually work hard. So it's like aiming, that low is just selling yourself short completely. But the reason this is so detrimental, to get back to the main point, is that if you aim for that, that is your standard, and you're not going to go above that. So I think too many people have goals. I think too many people are too fixated on winning and hitting a small goal, when they should be fixated on putting in the work every day, getting better every day, and actually like aiming their focus towards a massive goal that they know they're not going to hit quickly, but they're trying their best to get there, and then you'll at least accomplish some of it, right? So That is number one. And number two goes into basically using the law of attraction in your favor. Now, I'm going to prove to you in the next couple minutes why the law of attraction is real. You cannot believe in it. You can think the law of attraction is voodoo. You can think whatever it is. But the truth is, the law of attraction, really all it is that your thoughts become your reality. And this has been proven. And you can look at this right now. This is how I'm going to prove it. Look at people in your day-to-day life. Doesn't it seem, be honest with yourself, doesn't it seem like the people who are always grateful, the people who are always kind, the people who always work hard get more things in life? And then there's those other group of people, right? There's that other group that's always negative, always complaining about the bad things, and it seems like things just tower down on them, just shower down on them, bad thing after bad thing after bad thing. Why? Because one person has positive thoughts, the other person has negative thoughts, and whatever you think about becomes true. What the law of attraction preaches, the formula, the physical formula of how it works in the material world, is that your thoughts stem everything. Your thoughts lead to your actions, which lead to your reality, and your reality leads to your thoughts. That's where most of the disconnect is, right? Because if you're in, $1,000 a month apartment in some city and there's rats on the ground and you can't even afford to eat, your reality isn't great, so your thoughts probably aren't great. This is why it's so important to be delusional. You need to be delusional at the start and find a way to have positive thoughts about yourself, even when things are going wrong. Because if you knew the power of your thoughts, you would never think negatively again. I am so good at this point. I don't want to brag about I'm good at the law of attraction, but now that I know how important it is, I am so conscious at this. I guess you could use that word instead. I'm so conscious of it that I'm always thinking positively. And you don't have to be that weirdo who's a giddy optimist who's kind of weird. You don't need to be that type of guy. It's simply about your thoughts. So, for example, if I am stuck in traffic, right? If there's 45-minute traffic on the way to the gym, right? One person would be like, I'm stuck in traffic. This sucks. I wasted my whole day. I hate this. Me, I would look at this and be like, thank God that I got stuck in traffic. Maybe if there wasn't traffic, I'd be driving 120 miles an hour in my McLaren and crash and just kill myself right there. That's the type of mindset I have. So even if a negative thing happens, I think positively, right? And you can use this in anything in your life, right? Literally anything. If your girlfriend breaks up with you, think, you know what? Things could have gotten worse. I could have wasted the next 5 years of my life. I could have wasted the next 20 years of my life with that girl. She could have divorced me and taken everything. Thank you, God, for letting me break up with this girl now so I'm freed and I'm on to the next portion of my life. You need to always think positively, because when you think positively, that's when more positive things are going to be attracted to you. And going back to the first point about not selling yourself short, your thoughts dictate your reality, right? And you need to be on the same frequency of what you want to achieve. The next key point to the law of attraction is you are what you think about. Like I said, your thoughts lead to your reality. So whatever frequency you are on, however you act is who you will become in reality. So if you have $1 million a year goal, right? That's $83K a month. If you need to make $83K a month, that is what you want. Instead of looking at it like I need this. This is also a reason I'm not a big fan of goals. Like, I need this. All that is doing is telling the universe and telling your subconscious, I don't have this. So it's going to create a reality where you don't have that. Instead, you need to look at it and be like, I already have this. I just have to work to go achieve it, to go grab the medal, to go grab the loot at the end of this journey. And that's the mindset you need to have. You need to act on that frequency. A good thought experiment that you can do to really break this down is, you probably have problems in your life. A ton of them, I'm sure, could be solved by money. Sorry, I just heard a knock at the door, but it's just my DoorDash. All right, sorry about that. But anyway, so you want money, right? That'll probably get rid of a lot of problems in your life. It would for mine, it would for everybody. More money solves a ton of problems, right? So imagine someone wrote you $1 million check. You won the lottery, you won $1 million. But that check can't hit your account for a week. The check is, it's cashed. You went to the bank, you put it in, you deposited the check, but the bank said, we got to hold this for 7 days. In 7 days, that will be deposited. How would you move? How would you feel? How would you act in those next 7 days? You'd probably be ecstatic. You'd probably work harder. You'd probably have tons of energy. You'd probably be nicer to people. You would move on a different frequency. And that is the exact frequency you need to move on before you have the money. You need to act like you already have it in order to get it. You need to fake it till you make it, right? So there's a reason all of these famous fighters. I'm a big fight fan. I'm a big UFC fan, boxing fan, and I think looking at athletes is a great way to really determine mindset. There's a lot of similarities between being a successful entrepreneur and a successful athlete, but I like to use the fight analogy specifically because it's such a brutal sport and all these guys have great mindsets. Conor McGregor, whatever, John Jones, whoever you want to talk about, any world champion, even Ilia Topuria is a great example. Ilia Topuria, you guys might not all know him like McGregor, but he's the world champion right now. He just beat Charles Oliveira to get the belt in 2 weight divisions. He celebrated the night before his fight that he won. His fight was the next day. He had dinner with his family and celebrated the night before. Now, the non-successful person will look at that and be like, wow, he's cocky. I hate this guy. This guy sucks. But me, who understands how these things work, I look at that and I'm like, wow, this guy already won. Put my money on him. Because he is so confident. He believes he already won, so he is going to win. He believes it so much that he is willing to risk in front of millions of people online, showing him celebrating and then showing him celebrating that he already won before a fight where he could get knocked out the next night. That is the type of delusion and confidence you need to have. And what I was going to say about Conor McGregor or John Jones, they were saying they were going to be world champion before they were world champion. They were signing autographs. John Jones was in 2012 famously signing autographs saying John Jones, heavyweight champ. He wasn't the champ yet. So, and then guess what? They all became champ. So you need to move on the frequency of what you want already, right? When you do that, that is when you start attracting it. It's a weird thing, right? It seems like the more positive I am, the more positive my thoughts are, the harder I work, the better I feel about myself, the more money I make. Opportunities just spawn in. And where all this stems from, right, is delusional self-belief. Because like I said, going back to the law of attraction, going back to the goals, if you are in an apartment with rats right now, if you're living in your mom's basement like I was when I started, if you're in a horrible situation, your girl broke up with you, you're broke, you're watching this YouTube video, trying to get some motivation, trying to find a business that can make you money, your thoughts aren't going to be that positive naturally. Nobody has positive thoughts all the time. I have negative thoughts I battle with every day, but you need to turn those negatives into positives. You need to look in the bright side, and the key is delusion. You need to have delusional self-belief. That's why I said the main disconnect is from the actual reality to the thoughts, and that's why people aren't successful. So you need to master, even when everything is going wrong, that you still have positive thoughts. And how do you build delusional self-belief? You stack daily wins. This is the next point. Discipline is everything. I know you've heard this 50 billion times online, yet you're still not disciplined. And I am a disciplined machine compared to other people my age, but I'm still trying to become more disciplined every day because I know every single good thing in life comes from discipline. Putting in the work, that is what gets results. I'm a huge fan for the law of attraction, but if I think about a Lamborghini and I sit on my ass all day, I'm not going to get that Lamborghini. That's only part of it, right? Like, I'm still a realist. I don't think I can just magically have whatever I want appear in my life. That's not how the world works. You will get rewarded for your work and when you're on that frequency. But anyway, what I was saying, how you build delusional self-belief is through self-discipline, keeping the promises to yourself. If you say you're going to wake up early and you wake up early, boom, your delusion went up. Your self-confidence went up. If you say you're going to go to the gym and you go to the gym, your confidence just went up again. If you say you're going to work on your business for 3 hours with no distractions, no Instagram, no TikTok, and then you do it, guess what? Your confidence goes up. This is why you feel so good after the gym. You didn't want to go to the gym. Maybe you did. Either way, you accomplished something hard. So after that, you get the reward of feeling good. You get that dopamine rush. It's the same thing with everything. Whenever you keep that promise to yourself, especially when it's something you don't want to do. For example, I don't really want to film this video right now, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know I have to get it done, right? So once you keep those promises to yourself, you're going to get in a higher vibrational state. You're going to build more confidence in yourself, more delusional self-belief. And once you stack this over days and weeks and months of keeping promises to yourself, you're going to have such high confidence that you're going to look at yourself and think, wow, I'm the man. I can do anything. People look at me and they think I'm cocky, they think I'm arrogant, but everything I've done is justified. Because I've used the tenets I've used, I'm telling you in this video right now, I've achieved a ton of success at a young age. So now my ego isn't delusional, it's justified because if you rank me compared to other people my age, I've outcompeted them simply. I've achieved more than them in a certain amount of time. So it's like your delusion will become a reality, but you have to be delusional at first. And the way you do that is by building your confidence. How do you build your confidence? You have self-discipline every single day. You do the work it takes on whatever you're trying to achieve. You keep your promises to yourself. You're locked in. You cut out the garbage, and you slowly build that confidence because it will turn into an upward spiral of success for you. But vice versa. If you say you're going to wake up early, you probably do this all the time. You say you're going to wake up early, you click that snooze alarm, and then you sleep in, right? Boom, your confidence just went down. You say you're going to go to the gym. I need a rest day. I don't feel great today. Your confidence just went down. Oh, I'm going to work on my business today. I'm going to start this business. I really want to start this business. I haven't yet, but I know this is going to be good for me. You know what? This seems kind of hard. I got to set up this, and this, the website, the product. I got to do research. I'll do it tomorrow. Your confidence went down. And now you feel horrible about yourself. Now you put your head on that pillow at night and you can't even look, you can't even think, like you're just so pissed off at yourself because you're in a bad situation and you don't have a peaceful heart because you know you could have done more. You know that you could have done what you said you were going to do, and your confidence goes down. So what do? You do the same thing the next day and it gets worse and worse. You eat more junk food. You scroll on TikTok more. Next thing you know, your mindset's so bad that all you're having is negative thoughts. So more negative thoughts get attracted into your life. You need to break that cycle. You need to break that cycle because the more negative thoughts you have, the more negative things you have in your life. To get rid of the law of attraction, right? Maybe you don't believe in it. Another great book, As a Man Thinketh. It's about the same premise. James Allen, the author, one of my favorite books, maybe my favorite book of all time. Simplest quote of all time. The first page of the book says, good thoughts lead to good fruit. Bad thoughts lead to bad fruit. It is 100% true. If you think about good things will happen in your life. If you think about bad things will happen in your life. So, to recap this video, I got one more point to go over, but to recap it so far, number one, you need to not focus so much on goals, and if you are going to set a goal, do not sell yourself short. Set a massive goal. Set a huge goal. Don't set your dream car as a C8 Corvette. Set your dream car as a Lamborghini SVJ, as a Bugatti Chiron, as a LaFerrari, as 10 supercars. You need to have an ego that big, and then you're going to work to justify it. Next, you need to know the law of attraction, which is basically saying you need to protect your thoughts. You need to try your best to have positive thoughts, because the higher vibrational state you're on, the higher thoughts you have, the higher your reality is going to be. The higher of things that are going to be attracted to you are going to be. You're going to have a better life if you have better thoughts. And with that also means you need to act like you already have what you want. Like I said, the example of if you won the lottery, how would you feel? If you ask me right now, where am I in 10 years? I know I'm in multiple mansions that I own. I have multiple supercars. I have that LaFerrari. I have a wife. I have a family. Why? Because I know that the future me has already achieved those things. I don't look in the mirror and I'm stressed. The worst things ever can happen to me and I'm not stressed. Why? Because I understand that the future me has already achieved what I want. I believe in myself so much because of what I've done in the past that why would I not believe in the future version of me? If the past version of me has done everything he said he was going to do and then some, of course I'm going to have that confidence. And then all of that segued into the last point, which is to do whatever you can to build that delusional self-belief, build that confidence, which is through self-discipline. So once you build that confidence, it's so easy to keep winning. You hear people say this all the time. I'm sure you heard the famous, Andrew Tate quote where he says, once you start winning, it's ridiculously easy to keep winning. It's super true. Another guy, Kevin, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, he said the first million will take everything you have. It's the hardest thing in the world, but the second million is inevitable. Why? It's the same amount of money, but it's because of the person you become to make the first million. You become more disciplined. Your thoughts become better. You become a better person overall. You understand the game. And once you do that, it is so easy to make another million because you already know everything you need to do. So it's all about just going from 0 to 1. It's not about going from 0 to 10, 0 to 100. It's about going from 0 to 1. And to do that, you need delusional self-belief. Like I said, how do you get that delusional self-belief? You need to stack discipline. So to finish up this video, because these are the main things that I adopted in my mindset that have really led me to be successful. It's super simple. But to wrap up this video, I want to give you actionable steps so you actually know what the hell to do when you click off. Don't go watch more videos. You don't need that. You don't need more motivation. What you need to do is actually put some work in. So figure out a goal. whether it's a business, whether you want to get better in the gym, whatever you're watching this video for, whatever you're trying to achieve, right? Set a list of tasks to do tomorrow. Non-negotiable. If you want to get better in the gym, write down that you eat healthy, you eat your meal prep, whatever. You go to the gym, you do cardio at night, you do everything, you take your supplements, your creatine, you do everything you need to do, right? Or if you're building a business, I'm going to research the business I'm going to do. I'm going to start my website. I'm going to start my Instagram and TikTok page for marketing. I'm going to post my first reel. I'm going to do this, this, and this. Whatever it is, whatever the steps are for what you're trying to achieve, write that down the night before. Write that down right now, and you're going to do it tomorrow. And you're going to go through those tasks no matter how you feel. No matter if you're the most tired in the morning or if you're having the best day ever. It does not matter. You are going to do those tasks. And you will see, once you're done with those tasks, you will feel great. Your thoughts will be better. And then you are going to start to build momentum. Once you do this for weeks, months, years, you're going to build ridiculous momentum to have an iron mindset because you're keeping the promises to yourself no matter how you feel. And that's going to become a habit. And once discipline becomes a habit, then success becomes a habit because success comes from discipline. So first thing, you need to do whatever it takes to build that confidence. Write down what you need to do tomorrow. Do it no matter how you feel, and comment on this video how you feel after, because I guarantee you, you will feel better after. So last thing, guys, a lot of you are probably watching this. You want to start a business. You want to get rich. You see my lifestyle with the cool crib, the diamond watches, the McLaren, all this stuff. You're probably like, how did I do it? Well, unlike other guys online, I'm not going to sit here and advocate a business or teach you something that I haven't done personally. That's why course sellers get a bad rap. That's why this whole internet money space is completely disingenuous. It's because people teach things that they haven't even done themselves. That's not what I do. The only thing I am willing to teach you, the only thing I am willing to work with you one-on-one in is sports content. Why? Because sports content is the business model that's made me $1.7 million. So for you guys who are looking for a business, I think it's the best business on the planet, and a lot of other members in our community who have made tons of money also think it's the best business on the planet. If you're looking for a business to start, I am willing to teach you one-on-one how to grow a sports content page. A year and a half ago, I started my mentorship called Sports Creator Academy. We have over 55 guys there now, and every single thing I know about building a viral sports page and monetizing it into millions of dollars is in there. The reason it is the best business on the planet is because we work with the biggest betting apps in the world. Underdog, PrizePicks, Sleeper. And the reason it's so good is because it's the only business on the planet where you can get 10x margins. If I get a $10 or even $5 deposit on some apps with my promo code, I get paid $75 to $100 commission each from each app. 10x margins. $10 sale equals $100 from me. And basically, I have multiplied this thousands and thousands of times to print me hundreds of thousands and then millions of dollars through these affiliate partnerships. Sports betting is getting bigger and bigger every single year, and this is one of the best businesses, if not the best business you can be in. You don't have to take it from me. I'm going to leave a free 15-minute training below, and you're going to see some of our other winning success stories. Chad Slavinsky, 18 years old, made $70K in December last year. 1 month he made $70K. How? You probably think those numbers are insane, but because of how good our partnerships are, $10 deposit gets you $700. He had a couple videos in December go viral. He had one go for $500K and one go for $700K using the content systems I've taught that have made me over 250,000 followers across all platforms. He used those systems, produced viral content, and if 1.2 million people are seeing your video, you think 700 people won't sign up? 700 people signed up, and that is $70,000 in commission for an 18-year-old off one 45-second video. He's not our only winning success story. Ryan, Fantasy Football MI, made $75K in his first year as a college student and bought his dream car, an AMG, as an 18-year-old college kid. So we have plenty more testimonials along with that free training that I'm going to link below. Watch that video and fill out the application if it's something you want to do. Because another thing, this is not something you can buy. You have to go through the application process. There's a reason we only have 55 members, because I'm only looking for people who are serious. I'm only looking for people who seriously want to change their life with this. You can't just buy it. You can't just join and not try. We need to talk first personally. You need to go through the application process, which I'll leave below after that training, and basically prove to us that you are ready to actually change change your life with this business. It's going to take time. It is not a get rich quick scheme. Even though it only takes about 2 hours a day, you still have to put that effort in consistently, and you need to have the right mindset. You need to be ready to come into this industry and blow up a sports page and basically get rich from it, because that's what everyone else in the program is doing. And if you don't want to join that community, if you're not on that frequency, we're not going to let you in. So check out that free training below, guys, if you want to get rich from sports content in 2025. Now is a prime time to join because we are a month out from football season. So to wrap up this video, I hope you guys found it informative. All I do on this channel is try and give you free value. Every single thing I've learned going from 0 to a millionaire at 19 years old. I'm 20 now, but I achieved those metrics at 19. So if you found this informative, subscribe, guys. I post every couple days just giving straight game on everything I've learned, like I've said, business, lifestyle, mindset, everything I know. So one other thing, follow me on Instagram. I post about 5 times a day on there if you want more free game. I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe to the channel. Comment if you have any questions. I'll personally respond to all of them, and I'll see you in the next one.